Hi, so it's going to be a very small comic haul review this time. So these are my comics from last week. There's not many at all. I do have two coming in the post. I've got the new All In Catwoman, Batman and Robin Year 1, Issue 1. They both sold out at my local comic shop, so I've had to order them online. So anyway, dive in. We shouldn't take very long. So the first one is Issue 4 of Epitaphs from the Abyss. Really nice cover by Lee Bermejo, I think it is. And then you've got 3 stories inside. I think there's about 26 story pages in total. So you've got Dead from Exposure by Jay Stevens and David Lapham, Perfect Pearl by Amy Roy and Claire Rowe, and Under the Influence by Jay Hotham and Leo Max on art. So really enjoyed the artwork by David Lapham in this one. Kind of like a spin on the Abominable Snowman kind of legend, or the Bog Monster. Yeah, nice bit of violence there. Very, very in keeping. This was, I'd say, the most EC kind of flavour story out of the 3 of them. Really enjoyed this one. Great twist at the end, so I won't go into it. I won't focus on that page very much. But yeah, really enjoyed that story. Then you have The Perfect Pearl. This one I found the weakest one. And to be honest, yeah, it just was like Debbie Downer. It was really, really, just really depressing. And yeah, I didn't enjoy it. And I didn't find it particularly horrific. It was more like, I don't know if it was preaching. I mean, I'm the most left of centre person you can meet. So obviously, one, I'm trans, so I'm part of the rainbow community. I'm very, very liberal, but it was preachy in a way that just seemed pointless. Or it wasn't, it was just heavy handed, and it sacrificed the story with regards to that. So, yeah, there. Then you got Under the Influence, which was the second strongest story. Really, really enjoyed the art by Leo Max in this. Really fun twist. So, I'd say, because of the dip in the middle, I'd give this a 6.57 out of 10. But I'm going to carry on with it. That's the gamble with an anthology. You always got to get, sometimes you can get absolute bangers all the way through, but sometimes you can have a bit of a dip. And this one had one of the weaker stories that they've had in the whole series. But apart from that, it's still good. And still very good value for money. Cardstock cover, $4.99, at least 26 story pages. Moving on to $4.99 comics, we've got Superman Action Comics Phantoms Part Week 2. So this is coming out weekly, as you know. About 30 pages of story, 32 pages of story. So Mark Waid doing the main story with Clayton Henry on the artwork, and then you've got Mariko Tamaki on the writing and Skylar Partridge on the art for the Supergirl story in the back. What I am pleased about, it's not going to be weekly for much longer. I've noticed in the January solicitations it switches back to monthly, so that's good news. But yeah, it's an enjoyable, it's Mark Waid doing Superman. Art's clean, art's fun, it deals with Kandor, deals with Mon-El. It's got a bit of a nice interlude with the Superman of China and Superboy. And yeah, very satisfactory. It's Mark Waid. Mark Waid at the moment can't do no wrong when it comes to superhero stories. Yeah, very pleasing. The only thing I love the art in the Supergirl backup, and the writing's okay, but to be honest, I think this is having a disservice just being a backup. It needs to be a one-shot special, I think. Because even with it being weekly, because it's just been 8 pages, the flow, there's no flow to it. Yeah, so I don't know. And I find it curious that there's a spider creature in that, and there's a spider creature in the main story. So yeah, I'd give the main story 8 out of 10, back up 7 out of 10. But yeah, carrying on with it, it's good fun. And then one comic I'm really loving. I'm loving the whole of the Elseworlds series, what they brought out again. And this is issue 4 of Dark Knights of Steel All Winter, written by Jay Kristoff, friend of Tom Taylor's, I think, and a famous novelist. Gorgeous artwork by Terso. So I've mentioned before, it's got like a Game of Thrones feel, set in like a Viking period, this gorgeous art that with splashes of colour. And so it continues this story where Deathstroke's kind of like now being put in charge grudgingly of looking after this young boy Alec, who is kind of like this universe's version of Swamp Thing. He's got the power of the Green Elemental. And then there's their version of Batman, who is actually Superman in this, if that makes sense. And so yeah, gorgeous, beautiful artwork. One of the nicest comics I've out this week visually. Story's still strong. It finishes in 2 issues, and I think that's just enough. I think it would outstay its welcome if it was like a 12-issue series. But yeah, plenty of twists. I can't go into it too much because there's a really good twist at the end. What kind of left me going, oh, they didn't, but they did. And then there's a really good backup by Tom Taylor and Riccardo Federici, dealing with this Elseworlds version of Arthur Curry, which is this young boy who is looked after by pardon me, by, in our universe, Superman's parents, and he's got this pet lobster, and the artwork is just beautiful. This is a short story, but it flows so much better than the Supergirl one, and it's just a really good, like, it balances out the main story really perfectly, and it's just good. It's just such a good comic. I've been working today, can't you tell? This is probably my worst review show I've ever done because I'm tired. It's been a long early shift today, but yeah, I would give this 8 out of 10. If you're not buying it, I do recommend getting it in trade when it comes out, because it is a really good, fun read. And yes, I keep on putting one comic to the back, and you'll find out why in a bit. So there's Green Lantern All In, issue 16. Now, out of all the All In comics that I've tried, I've not tried many, but out of all of them that I've tried so far, this one really isn't in All In. You need to get the one shot from last week, and it carries on a storyline that's been building up for the past 15 issues as well, by Jeremy Adams, but it's quite possibly one of the best runs of Green Lantern since the days of Peter Tomasi and also Jeff Johns. It's really that good, and the artwork is just gorgeous. So it's carrying on this storyline where it's like a big conspiracy lead. Let me just find it. Yeah, the Derlins have basically turned everybody against the Green Lanterns, and they're doing the normal dastardly deeds what they've been doing for the past 15 issues or so. But yeah, it's just great. Jeremy Adams, I was a big naysayer of Jeremy Adams before, but he's changed my mind with Green Lantern, and he's made me like Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan's not my favourite Green Lantern, but he's made him seem a bit less of an asshole now. And I love how they've introduced Star Sapphire now, and they've got Ran. It's a good science fiction comic. DC does sci-fi different to how Marvel does. Marvel does it all cosmic. DC does sci-fi. This is just good sci-fi. It's really, really good. I'm really enjoying it. The artwork is gorgeous. Very satisfactory. The only gripe I've got, this used to be 30 pages. It's now a standard size comic, but it's still $4.99. So they're doing a bit of a Marvel there. But the flip side to it, unlike Marvel, they've got top tier creative team on it. It's high quality artwork, high quality writing, and 9 out of 10. It's such a strong comic. And we come to these, what I've been hiding badly. So I said a while ago, a few months back, that I was putting on hold World's Finest. I'd had superhero fatigue, and you can't get more superhero than World's Finest. But I never got rid of my comics. I still have them, and I just kind of like watched as it was going month to month, just looked on the shelves. And this month I thought, I was budgeting and thought, I'm not really enjoying the power fantasy, and everything in me should enjoy the power fantasy, but I found it very pretentious, but I love the artwork. But the storyline in this is just balls to the wall fun. I'd say this is the most pure superhero comic you can get. And so I got the 4 issues that I was missing. So I've got the final part of the one with the Batmite and Mr. Mxyzptlk crossover. So that ties it off. That's the final Dan Mora one. Then there was a one-shot with Wonder Woman. So it's the Trinity. Wade carrying on with writing duties and Melnikov on artwork. It was okay. The artwork's okay, but they've now started. This is what made me come back to it when I saw who the big bad is. I love Eclipso. I love the big Eclipso event from the 90s, I think it was, with Robert Loren Fleming and Keith Giffen on as the brainchild of it, with Bart Seaston the artwork. Why do I know these facts? Why do I know all this rubbish shit? I can't remember how to do life skills, but I can remember useless comic shit from years ago. But anyway, and I used to get the spin-off comic that came out as well, which was amazing. And so when I saw that Eclipse was the big bad in this, I had to pick it up. And it carries on in this one. And Dan Morrow's not coming back. But come on, guys, he's not the only good artist. Yeah, he's fantastic, but he's doing Superman, he's doing Justice League Unlimited. So he's still getting you Dan Morrow. And he's still working with Mark Waid. But this artist is amazing. He's different, so what? I don't want a Dan Morrow clone. But the energy he brings to it. So it's Adrian Gutierrez, who is the artist on Blue Beetle, and I'm in love. In a way, I kind of like him more than Dan Morrow on this comic, so I'm very pleased with it. Yep, the story is satisfying, colouring is beautiful as per usual. It's just fun. This comic is going from strength to strength. We're now on issue 32, and apparently Mark Waid said he's going to stay on as long as DC will let him. If you're not getting it, you're missing out, so I really do implore you to get the collections. And yeah, so that's it. And I would give this as a series 8 out of 10 to 9 out of 10. Current storyline, 9 out of 10. Yeah, fantastic. So that's it. I might do another very quick video this week if my other two comics turn up. After that, it'll be about a week to 2 weeks before you see me doing another review one, because I'm not at my comic shop this weekend, but I will be doing a look at the new titles coming out in January. Okay, bye.